You need to bite into oysters and not swallow them whole. And most importantly, you need to chew them. Each bite releases an unmistakable taste. And this is what makes oysters such an enjoyable and pleasurable experience.
Joël Depuche is an oyster farmer in Cap Ferret in France's Arcachon Bay. A familiar face for some as he played an oyster farmer in the 2010 film Les Petits Mouchoirs, directed by his friend Guillaume Canet.
My role in this film was completely unexpected, and there was sheer emotion involved. The film ends with a close-up of my face on screen, and this image really stuck in people's minds.
But the oyster farmer spends the majority of his time in Arcachon Bay, where he produces between 150 and 200 tons of oysters per year.
During the past 84 months, I have only spent 1 month on set or promoting the film. No, this is my real job, oysters. It's a passion. It's a family thing. I'm a 6th or 7th generation oyster farmer. Oysters and Arcachon Bay, it's my life.
Arcachon Bay is an inland sea on the Atlantic coast, 70 kilometres from Bordeaux, and is also France's leading oyster farming area. Oysters are produced here all year round, but the Christmas period is a particularly busy one.
Before we package them, we wash them. They come out here, all clean.
An oyster takes about 3 years to reach maturity.
Before we send them off to the markets, the oysters are purified in clean salt water for 48 hours to get rid of any residue, to make sure there's no sand left inside. We want them to be perfect and people to enjoy them.
The oysters from Arcachon Bay are known for their strong flavour.
One of the advantages of the oyster market is that people have different preferences. So some like fleshy oysters and others, myself included, prefer fleshy, chewy oysters with slightly milder tastes.
Ludovic's farm is just down the road, and here you can try the oysters in their natural habitat.
Christmas oysters, as you can see, are very fleshy with a sweet aftertaste and good length on the palate.
The taste of the oyster will differ depending on where in the Arcachon Bay it was cultivated. 315 oyster farmers work in this prized area.
The Grand Bon is one of the best places. It's just over there, more or less at the entrance of the bay. It yields fleshy oysters all year round.
And if you're in oyster country and want to learn more about them, then you could stop off at Sylvie Latril's. She used to be a biologist and organises oyster workshops. We offer workshops all year round to teach people all they need to know about oysters. One of the most important things is learning how to open them. This really is a problem for a lot of people. So let's explain. So to start with, the oyster needs to be held flat. We're going to see where we can place the blade. We need to place it about 1/3 of the way up. Then we have to bore into it. We slide the blade around the lip of the oyster and detach any muscle that's clinging to the inside of the top shell. We need to hold the blade carefully so as not to cut into the muscle itself. We're just separating it from the shell. And then we can remove the top shell. We always pour off the excess liquid. The oyster then produces another purer liquid. Once opened, 90% of oysters will be eaten raw, but they can also be cooked. This is a local recipe for oyster fritters with candied citrus fruits, served on a crépinette, which is like a sausage, made with truffle juice.
In Bordeaux and Arcachon Bay, oysters are often served with a little crépinette or sausages. So I partly based the recipe on this. The idea is to pierce the oyster, so it won't fall off when we coat it in batter.
The batter is made from eggs, flour, beer and salt.
We coat the oyster.
Then we fry for 30 seconds until it starts to brown.
We sponge them delicately. We have the little crépinette. We skewer it with the oyster, and there we go. You eat the whole thing, citrus zests and all.
Oysters are just as tasty raw or cooked, rich in zinc, omega-3, proteins. They're low in calories and ideal for the festive season. But they can be eaten all year round and are perceived as a real culinary treat.
You're in a restaurant, someone orders a tray of oysters, everyone looks, and everyone wants the same.
One taster I know says when he eats an oyster, he feels like he's kissing the sea, and that's just it.